Yeah, seriously. Unwrapping those way too loud. No can do.
Just like hold the wrapper above the mic.
All right. Well, welcome back. This is day 2, part 2 of our Game of the Year 2013 proceedings, we'll say. We're back for 4 more categories before we rank all 130-some games we played this year. So, but yeah, that to look forward to. So this should be nice and quick. All right. The gang's all here in the same order. And me, Isaiah, Alex, Derek, Thomas, Zach, Kirsten. Say hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Hola. All right. Now we have before us best story and writing, most memorable moment for 2013. 2013 is the year of, and our personal most anticipated lists. So we get down to potentially one of our toughest collaborative categories, but we'll see. Best story and writing, or writing, / writing, however you want to interpret that. Our nominees are The Stanley Parable, Fire Emblem Awakening, BioShock Infinite, Tales of Xillia, Beyond Two Souls, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, Gunpoint, Shadow Warrior, The Last of Us, GTA 5, Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, and Metro Last Light.
Man, so much great writing here.
Tom, I don't think Xillia's going to make it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
I know.
Xillia's good. The story got much better than I expected.
Yes.
But
Sure, why
we
not?
got some great...
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make a
candidates.
very strong case for Shadow Warrior.
And same thing. For
Yeah, just tell
Xillia.
a very poignant, very surprisingly tragic story.
I've heard it gets emotional. Why is that?
Feels betrayal,
Okay.
bad guy not being as bad as you think, having very good motivations. Really by due to your demon companion mostly. Very. The main, without spoiling anything, because you figure this out very fast. The main brunt of the story is there's these golems, and they can only be created by sacrificing your own memories. And conveniently, the person that you're traveling with does not remember why he was banished from the demon realm. So you're both kind of on a quest of vengeance. So you kind of discover things along the way about his past, his part in everything, what's going on. Because when you kill these golems, you can see the memories that these demons were desperately trying to forget. And so you get actually quite a bit of sadness and melancholy. But the way it goes and weaves this all together is actually really, really well done. But yeah, and plus it's just very consistently funny and clever and kind of turns some expectations on its head as it goes as well. Subverting expectations. It's really good. I can't wait for you all to play it.
Okay.
Alright.
Aside from the multitude of puns, I don't think the main story in Ni no Kuni is very good.
Sure.
Not really, no. It kind of drags in the middle.
Yeah.
Like the setup is good, conclusion's alright, but the middle is like, eh.
Okay.
I thought. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. I
No?
like the conclusions, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
Yeah.
And I really like the story in Last Light. But again, I don't think it's going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, some of those you have to play.
I didn't nominate it. I
Well.
think it was...
I think it was me.
I know, I think it was me. I nominated for the writing at least. Not the story, in fact, but the writing was pretty good. Everyone felt real, and the whole like cities were filled with conversations, which made it a very good environment and atmosphere to the game.
Impressive.
Yeah.
We got rid of that category. Atmosphere, that is.
Yeah, that's true. Good thing though. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the story in BioShock was okay, but I don't think it's going to be top 3.
Me neither. Agreed.
But that was like the main thing
Not
of that
much.
game.
Yeah, that was the
Not
only
much
thing.
story in the
That
middle
wasn't
though.
great, huh?
It's got setup, it's got conclusion.
I'm just looking what else we would take.
Gunpoint
What?
is a good writing. It's the writing, I think, that is really special.
I did like getting thrown out the window, and the guy's like, "Did you just get thrown out a window?" Don't bring it up, please.
Now the writing's great, but nobody's gonna hang with me on that. So it's gone.
Did we get rid of Metro?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And we got rid of Bioshock.
Yeah. Guess we take Beyond.
If you have to resort to searching for through
Beyond.
forums to make something make sense, I can't imagine that being a very great story.
You make without it.
Oh, I got bored really quick in BioShock.
I think I don't like Bioshock Infinite story personally as much as Beyond, at least.
All right.
And
Probably the only one for it, so yeah, we'll get rid of it.
Alright.
GTA 5?
Better story than Beyond?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Whoa.
Is it?
Yeah, definitely. And writing, especially.
think-
yeah, I mean, how
writing-
was the writing actually in Beyond? I know you say she's a good character, but is the writing like really good?
Writing's movie quality. I thought.
I mean, that was the whole point of the game. Was kind of to basically be an interactive experience.
They had some good like missions and some good psychological kind of stuff. The kid was raised in like a bunker, so you get to see the teenager years is pretty good, and then the writing,
Oh, yeah.
especially when she is a bum, I guess. I don't know how.
Yeah.
A homeless
Homeless
person.
person, yeah.
That was pretty enjoyable to see her join like another family. Thought the
Yeah.
writing there was pretty good. Every character had a really good backstory. The writing was really, really well done there.
Makes you feel.
And then there's a couple twist endings to the end, especially
Sure.
bringing out about the entity and stuff like that.
There's definitely some twists about stuff.
One twist. And
One
it's not-
major twist.
One twist,
It's not
yeah,
even really a twist, it's just an explanation.
You're just like, oh, that makes sense.
which opens your eyes.
One of those like, whoa,
Yeah. It's okay.
it's messed up. No, yeah. I still like it more than GTA 5.
I like the story more in
Beyond.
Beyond.
Yes, I agree.
I thought it was more engaging and the writing was a lot better. And then you can also change up what the experiences were, especially like Grand Theft Auto 5. I know Grand Theft Auto 5. There's a lot of dialogue that they put in there. The story might not be as great, but the dialogue that they write in there fills up that kind of gap. Every playthrough, you can change it up a little bit different every time. I know I died a couple times in Grand Theft Auto 5, but as I replayed it and I played it differently, all the characters talked differently, and it was really cool and engaging.
Yeah. I think the writing's really good in GTA 5. Definitely not typically what it's mostly lauded for, but I would say that's the strongest point of that game. Is its story and writing.
Bouncing? We're bouncing now?
Hmm?
Sorry. It's my favorite line in that movie.
Oh.
That game.
I didn't even nominate GTA 5, but
Oh,
it's
man.
it's really good. I think the Stanley Parable's got to be one of the top 3, though.
I would think so as well. The narrator is really good.
Because you're making your own story.
And the writing
man.
is
Are you?
extremely clever.
Yeah, the writing is.
You don't disagree with that?
Don't disagree.
I pretty much just played just about the entire game.
Wow.
During break.
Some of it.
And it was really good. I liked it.
Tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. There's so many things.
Did you get the broom closet ending?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one's my favorite.
Oh, yeah, it's funny. The next time you go by that again, it's gonna be boarded up. You can't go.
Oh
Yeah.
no! It's so much fun though.
I didn't know that actually. I didn't play after that one.
Yeah, didn't you?
I was like, yeah, whatever.
Can we lock Stanley Parable?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree.
Locking.
Locked.
Drawing
Oh, I
And now it is
see.
locked.
You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Okay, you didn't think Phoenix Wright had a really good story.
Yeah, Alex, explain why
Or
that's not
writing.
there for you.
No, he said it wasn't as good as the other games in the series.
Correct. It is not as good as the other games in the series.
It's also not
Oh,
his
yeah.
top 3.
And I did nominate it for that. Yeah. It's probably better than Beyond.
Alex, I'm sorry you don't think very highly of Beyond.
I was pushing for
For
it.
a while, I felt like,
category.
yeah. That's what I felt like you were always pushing for.
I was pushing for it earlier. It's just I
Talking
don't
about
think the story and the writing is the good parts of that game.
I felt like that was the only thing about that game. For me.
I don't know. I enjoyed Beyond better than I enjoyed The Last of Us.
Oh man. Whoa.
Get rid of both of them.
Hexen.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that would mean nope.
All for getting rid of both. Okay.
Okay.
No.
Good deal.
No. As long as it's number one game in 2013, I'm cool with that.
Okay. Threw it out there.
It's a fight.
Threw it out there.
Fisticuffs.
Okay.
Oh man.
Zach, which one do you have higher, Beyond or Last of Us? Just curious.
The Last of Us.
Okay.
Thought so.
That's why Beyond has to go.
Can we cut Beyond?
No. Nope.
I'd agree with that.
Let's talk about a game nobody's mentioned yet. Fire Emblem.
Lock it.
Lock it. That game has
Lock it.
exceptional writing.
Its writing is
I can't say
the thing that makes it so great.
Is anybody not wanting to lock it?
I can't
Maybe there-
really
or at
give a
least
good personal opinion. I'm not a fan
Vehemently
of the
against
game,
it. That's all.
but I can't say it's a horrible writing because I didn't see most of the writing.
Did we show you the Tharja?
No,
No.
I hadn't shown anything. I was
Need to
just
see
like,
that.
oh, I'll play this game for like 8 hours. And I played 8 hours.
You still have a pretty good amount of writing, then.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
kind of skipped it.
Let's just say he battled.
So in other words, you
Wow.
didn't play the
I-
game then.
I
suppose
listened to
that is what I did with Revengeance.
I listened-
Cutscene, skip.
Yep, I listened
And
to.
I was like, come on, bro. Oh.
By the way, Revengeance was our winner of this category at half year. Not nominated this time.
I read books outside of video games. I don't want to read another book while I'm playing a video game.
Which is why you don't like Phoenix Wright.
Exactly. That's probably one
This
of the big
game
things.
has too much reading.
Dude,
I'm just messing
Yeah.
with you, Derek.
I just wanted to have.
I understand.
Yeah.
Hey, no, that's totally legit. That's why
You're the guy who
Yep.
likes fun in his video games.
I'm the
huh?
dude.
a lot of people didn't like Super Paper Mario for the same reason. Like, the gameplay is really strong, but that game can get pretty bogged
My
down.
boss
in
loves it. He was talking about that game all day yesterday.
Super
The other
Paper
day.
Mario?
Yeah. 'cause
Really?
He loves Paper
Like the
Mario.
Wii one?
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
he loves it.
Cool.
It's
a good
an
game.
interesting game.
I was
All
like,
right. Back on topic.
we go
So
with-
cutting Beyond.
So we go with Stanley and Fire Emblem?
So we're keeping Beyond.
That's that's what it seems like.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do it.
But then
Yeah.
you're gonna have
Yeah, I
to
think
make
it-
Sophie's choice, Zach.
Yeah, we
What?
And so
If we're locking Stanley Parable and Fire Emblem, there's one slot left.
I know.
Guess what I'm doing?
Guess what? We can cut Ace Attorney because nobody else
Has he even said
cares.
anything about it?
I'd have it over The Last of Us and Beyond at least.
I probably.
I don't think that opinion's going to carry around the table.
Probably
unfortunately.
have it over GTA.
I'd have it over the Stanley Parable and Fire Emblem Awakening. So what do you know?
Whoa, all three of
I think the lowest I have
That's
right
my
now is
favorite of the year.
GTA.
Yeah, it's just
Whoa, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
not on that list at all.
Oh, I was gonna say, I didn't read.
He was talking
I'd
about
rather
just
have
this
Dual
category.
Destinies for GTA here for the last one.
Mm.
That's not sounding.
Like I said, I would
Likely
too,
the
but
most.
that's not going to carry around the table.
GTA's got to go.
I'm feeling it last. That's
Personally-
probably going to be Last of Us.
Is the last us going to be the last standing?
It's gonna be the whole third.
There's some good writing in there, I guess.
Yeah, it's all right.
The main story's
You don't
kinda
count the comedy
so
book.
good.
Oh
What
man,
was it? Yeah, it was
it's
called.
the extra dialogue you could find. Oh,
I didn't hear it, so
well, yeah, because you
it's like an
play it.
It's like an Easter egg. I mean,
It's like Fire Emblem. If you don't look for it, you're not going to find it.
not necessarily true.
What? It's completely true.
I'd rather not vote for which one we put, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
You want?
Somebody make a passionate argument, quick.
It better not be about the comedy book. And
The comedy book is awesome, but it's not the best key feature. Man, the dialogue is so believable in The Last of Us. GTA. Oh man, these are all good ones though. I just can't be like, oh, it sounds the best, because all these other ones are really good. I just felt a lot more emotion out of the characters and out of the writing of what Ellie brought to the table, and Joel, and all the other characters in the game. Two Souls, Beyond Two Souls, I didn't play. Like, I seen the beginning, maybe halfway, and I think almost the end. I think I watched the ending on YouTube, not with you. At work, because I was like, I'm just gonna type this in. No, I really like The Last of Us storytelling writing. Having Ellie talk about some of the stuff that she does talk about, and just writing emotions out on a piece of paper. They did a really good job on it. And it feels like I'm the only one talking about this that's rooting for it, Mr. Zachariah.
I root for it all the time. The Last of Us, I don't know. I bring up maybe a couple of times, maybe in half a year, that it was a visceral experience. It was a good, gut-wrenching moments. A lot of good writing. I don't know if it's mainly about the acting. Probably more so about the acting than writing, I feel. The actors were really well done. Naughty Dog does a pretty good job at that. The writing, I don't know. I felt maybe it could be more. Beyond did a better job, I thought, at writing.
Yeah.
Giving good twists and stuff. Like, the very end, yeah, there was a twist at The Last of Us, and there's some moments where Ellie gets into trouble. However, I felt like that was more of actors' experiences and not just the writing or story itself. And I think Beyond does a stronger point at that with the writing.
Well, Beyond does a better job at capturing your attention than The Last of Us does.
I'd say the story's just better. I'm just gonna say that.
I know I've been kind of harsh on Dual Destinies and earlier things, but looking at the rest of these here, because GTA seems to be gaining no ground either.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'd like to compare it to like a TV series. So I value video games and TV series because I prefer long narrative versus very short narrative in movies, which can be well done, but I haven't watched as many movies because I prefer time investing, and that allows for closer connections to characters. And Phoenix Wright has always done a great job of that. So through the course of 5 cases, you get to grow each characters. They will peel back a little bit of the curtain after each case until you finally understand everything. And Dual Destinies definitely does have some of the best writing of the year, even though it's not the strongest in its own series. And I would say it's better than Beyond and The Last of Us, almost just because of its structure and how it allows for you to grow closer to the characters over the course of its length, which is much longer than the rest of the games.
Personally, I find it interesting that you say grow closer, because 2 cases into that game, I love Apollo. That's a great game, and I really like that character. I hated Apollo through three-fifths of that game because of the actions he took and the way he treated people, because of decisions he had to go make and things he had to go do. But I absolutely turned on Apollo for a very long time in that game and never wanted to see him again. And it was because of the way they made him act, which was so contrary to his prior behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And it does come back and explain that. And at the end, it's like, oh, finally, Apollo, you're back, yay! But no, for a long time, especially right when he left the group, I was very, very frustrated with that character. And I thought I think that speaks well to the situations they put those characters in, because I hated him for a while.
Yeah, if a game can make you really hate or despise a character other than just, oh, I'm evil, I think that's always a really impressive thing. Like, I would always say Casino Royale does an excellent job of that, as an example. Yeah. So no one's pulling for GTA, sounds like.
Yeah, we're dropping it. Anybody?
Between those 3, yeah.
You mean
4?
4, yes.
Yeah. Oh, Last of Us. Okay, yeah, we can mark that one too. All right. That leaves.
Had cases for all 3 games. Anything anything left to say about them?
I'll just add one more thing to Beyond. I don't know why I'm pushing for this really hard, but I felt the story was really good. When I first played through it, the story was in like little sections, like it would go back in time, forward in time, jump back and forth. And as I first played through it, I hated it, but sitting back down and watching or observing what I played, I found it was actually a really cool thing that they did. Bringing in little elements here and there, and then going back to describe it and flesh that out. And I thought that was a really cool story method. Seen in a couple movies, but not a lot in games. There's like little flashback moments in some video games, I will say, but it did a really well job at pacing itself and introducing the story in little bits of fragments.
Naruto did that really well.
But that's not on our list.
I know.
Right.
Sorry, it's not there, dude.
Yeah.
I know. They had some cool flashback moments.
That's actually the one aspect of that game that I didn't care for.
A lot of people hate it.
There's almost too much jumping sometimes.
I'll
Like-
agree.
Yeah, it's cool when something jumps from like past to future, and oh yeah, they're connecting. That's pretty cool. But you know, at least at the beginning, they did it so much that it kind of got a little aggravating. But I mean, if they end up explaining, I didn't play the ending. If they end up explaining it, then like I'm all for it. That's pretty cool.
There are a couple really long chapters that you aren't jumping around as much.
Yeah.
The Navajo chapter, the homelessness chapter,
And that was a good chapter.
the submarine chapter.
The submarine, yeah, almost the ending.
But in the sub chapter, they jump around inside of that.
They do.
Oh my gosh!
No, that wasn't on.
What the heck?
I didn't find that annoying. I thought that was more engaging, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm used to it.
Yeah, where it shows jump and then rewind.
Although it's like, hey, I know I'm gonna get captured. Can't wait for that to happen.
I think I almost found it annoying because like I would get so much into that part, and it's like, all right, sweet, what's next? Oh wait, we're doing something else now. It's like really annoying.
So Zach, you just argued for both Beyond and The Last of Us.
Which one's better to you?
We don't have one
Just
spotlight.
want to put it out.
I thought I already said. I like
Let's go
Beyond a
for
little bit more.
Beyond.
Okay, that's good to know.
Derek's for Last of Us, Thomas is for Beyond,
Yes.
Kirsten is for
Beyond.
Beyond,
Zach's for
Ian Brock's for Dual Destinies, Isaiah for.
I threw my hand for Dual Destinies.
Alright.
All right.
So
So
if we
3-3.
scratch The Last of Us, it goes to Derek.
Cool dustiness.
Oh wow. Really? Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sure.
Okay. I never would have expected that in a million bajillion years. Awesome.
It has a cool story.
From
bro.
the grave.
Come on, bro.
It does.
Have some confidence in that game.
Which one wins?
I say Fire
Fire
Emblem.
Emblem.
I think the Stanley Parable is the smartest game ever made.
That'd be an interesting debate.
It would.
Perhaps for another time.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think the Stanley Parable has to win.
No, Fire Emblem. No.
Yeah, I'm
I
actually.
love my Fire Emblem, but
I like Fire Emblem way better than I like Stanley Parable.
I would
yeah, I do
best
too. But for story and writing, then for me it's Stanley.
Pure engagement. Fire Emblem.
Just the incredible way it breaks down choice and.
It's a dissertation on the idea of choice and conflict, the conflict between player choice and directive narrative, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm still saying Fire Emblem.
Wait.
I'm always
I
happy
get
Fire
why
Emblem
you-
is in the top 3, so.
I still want Fire Emblem. What do you guys say?
Dual destinies.
Okay.
Throwing it out there. What do you think, Zach?
I'm gonna say Stanley Parable.
Okay.
I like the
That's
choices.
That's 4 then.
Is that something we were okay with? Does anybody,
Yeah.
does anybody
Yeah, I'm-
want to?
I mean, I'm not saying
I'm
I'm
okay with
against it either, so. I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Winner of Best Story Writing, The Stanley Parable. Moving on now to a personal category: our most memorable moments in gaming in 2013.
I'm gonna throw up a spoiler warning.
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
We're not going to bar people from giving spoilers. So again, if you don't want things spoiled, this might not be the best section to listen to. All right. It is our 5th personal category, and the 5th person on our list is Kirsten.
Oh, right.
Starting us off.
I had a lot of cool, memorable moments, but there was one that stood out, and this is going to sound really cheesy, but it was from Pokemon. The last room that you end up in when fighting Team Flare, when you get to see the little shell that your legendary's in. I played Pokemon Y, by the way. But it was extremely cool seeing the legendary for the first time and being able to capture that. Like, it was really awesome. I liked it a lot.
All right. Any more you want to talk about?
No, that was literally the only thing. Only memorable moment from 2013.
All right.
That is perfect. That's perfectly fine.
It was that
that's,
intense.
That's all right.
I totally agree with that. All right.
Thomas.
Well, I have three. My first one, or rather my third favorite moment, was meeting yourself in Fire Emblem Awakening. It's where it's like, oh man, you're just talking to the king of Plegia, I think it was, and all of a sudden he's just like, oh yeah, here, come out. And he's like, oh hey, what's up? And you're like, whoa, that's me.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
Get that?
Yeah.
Remember that? No, I just thought it was really cool. I mean, it might not have been very memorable for other people, but I thought it was really crazy because that just introduced the whole future time travel
Story goes some weird
stuff.
places.
Some weird places, yeah, and that's where it kind of like branches off. You know, it's like the base of the tree there.
Yeah, it's kind of the first one that everything's maybe not quite as clear cut as it seemed.
Yeah, and my number two was I was watching Alex play State of Decay, and I said this last at the half year, and Alex decides to open up his door to his truck that he was driving, and then he clotheslines a bunch of zombies in a zombie horde, and I was like, holy crud, that looked awesome. So that was my second favorite, and my first was definitely when I started playing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Is that I was really pumped, really hyped for that game. I even bought the really expensive special edition where you get like a plasma lamp and stuff. So when I started playing that, the first time I was able to go into like my blade mode and cut someone in half, I was just so pumped and so excited. That's pretty much. Yep, and then ripping out his spinal cord. Well, like cyber spinal cord, and then squishing it. It was really fun. So yep, that's it.
All right. Zach.
All right. Well, I've got three most memorable moments of 2013. Start with number three. It wasn't Outlast. It was like the first horror game I played in a while that's actually really, really scary. And the most memorable moment of that game is about 2 hours in. You meet a doctor that straps you to a chair, takes you to the exit, asks you to leave. Because you're strapped in, you don't leave. Then he takes you upstairs into his torture room, and then you have to try to get yourself out. That was the most terrifying experience I've had in a game for a long time. I think Isaiah heard me scream a couple of times as I was running around the halls. He's really scary. Chases you down with shears, and that was a pretty amazing experience of this year. My second is probably in Grand Theft Auto 5. Came out of nowhere is where Trevor has to torture someone as like a mini mission to get information to help out with a certain objective. And it made me question to myself a couple times as I was torturing the guy, like, why this is terrible. I feel terrible as I'm doing this, but I have to do it for this mission. So I was like, it felt really weird, and it just stuck with me after the whole mission died down, and it still stuck with me at the end of the year. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then my number one is the beginning of The Last of Us. That first half hour, it's really good. It had a perfect build up to the story, and mixed with emotions, action, sadness, a little bit of death, right at the get-go, right out of the gates. I thought it was a really good start to the game, and the game was a good roller coaster, so I enjoyed that beginning.
All right. Alex.
All right. I got a couple listed here. I wrote down the broom closet ending, but I'm sure someone else will tap on that, so I'll skip over that for now. The passage of ethics from SMT4 is really cool. I described that in more detail in my defense of my top 10. You're dropped in a foreign, like almost prison area. You go to kill this person, and her voice comes on over the intercom and then you have to decide like these moral quandaries that she asks you, like, would a man with technology comes to your city that's lived in the same way for thousands of years, do you accept the new technology even though it'll completely end the way of life you've always lived as, or do you reject it? And stuff like that, and then you have to choose a side, and the characters there will help pick their sides, and sometimes they're just like, I don't know. I don't know which one I would pick. And that's interesting. Or remixing memories from Remember Me. That puzzle design was good enough. They kind of stole it in Batman Arkham Origins, which wasn't as good either. I didn't think it as well implemented in that one. Seeing all the different permutations that those puzzles can take in Remember Me was really interesting and memorable and really fun. So it stuck out for me. The Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon tutorial is just awesome. It's hilarious and definitely the most funny tutorial I've ever played. I wrote down Beyond Homelessness. There's a homelessness section in Beyond Two Souls that really stuck with me and was definitely the most emotional part for me, I guess, of the game. You really feel for the character and try to understand like how that would actually be if you were in that same situation. Two more. Number 2 would be the end of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. The antagonist rears his head, Senator Armstrong, and he gives this ridiculously long right-wing pro-war military speech, and it's crazy. And then he has nanomachines, and that whole section is really well designed, and it makes the player go from feeling extremely powerless to extremely powerful in a really short amount of time, and it's really good and very well done. But my most memorable moment was the end of BioShock, and was hit with an overwhelming wave of confusion, and I was like, okay, I understand what you just told me, but what just happened? So I had to go look up everything about that game and try to fill in all of the holes. I only found about half of the, not codexes,
the voxophones.
Yeah. Voxophones. I only found about half of them on my first playthrough, which I did play through again and got about another half of what I had, so I got about 3/4 of them now. But the ending of that game was the most salient moment for me for the whole year. It was crazy, and I really liked it. And that's it.
All right. I'll go ahead and go. I'll try to keep things brief. Let's see. I want to touch on the opening of Dead Rising 3. Yeah, I didn't expect to come out with too many real like next gen moments when seeing the brand new consoles for the first time, and knowing things would look a little bit better. But then I didn't expect to see anything that would really wow me. When you first open up onto an absolutely enormous group of zombies gathered around a bunch of cars that you then have to hop on the hoods and stuff of and try to avoid all of these things. I think several of us were in the same room at the time, and I was just blown away by how that looked and how many zombies they were rendering on screen at a time. And there was a real like actual next gen wow moment, which I didn't expect to have too many of. So that was really impressive. I wanted to touch on that. I will mention that first hour of BioShock Infinite, the way it sets up Columbia and the way you get into it and then the way you start wandering around that city is really special. Regardless of what I think about how that game goes on, that opening is really something to behold, and that's super well done. Easily among the best things of the year so far. I'll talk about the one of the mind control machine endings in the Stanley Parable. You can wind up going through the back edges of this office building facility and finding a giant mind control machine, and if you decide to shut it off instead of activate it, or is it activated instead of shutting it off?
Activating it, yeah.
Yeah, you activate it, and then a countdown timer starts, and the narrator starts taunting you about how he's going to blow up the facility, and then you'll have to start all over. And no matter how many times you try, you can't figure out the code to shut this off, and you're powerless, and this is terrible.
There's like hundreds of buttons around, like with numbers and letters, and it makes you think that maybe there is just a combination that will unlock it somehow. So
I may have spent quite a lot of time trying to figure out if there was anything, and it does not seem as though there is.
The funny thing is there's actually a hatch that if you put your mouse over it, it has like the action, like when you put your mouse over a keypad. So someone really thinks, I don't know, maybe someone's found it by now, I don't know, but maybe you can can't enter the right thing and unlock that hatch.
Yeah, it's that captured my imagination for a while. All I wanted to do was subvert the narrator again, which probably plays right into how that game wants the player to feel about the situation. So I thought that was really interesting and just one of the many really cool endings you can get in the Stanley Parable. So that was a lot of fun. I highly recommend that. I'll touch on the Elite Four in Pokemon X and Y. Having not played a Pokemon game in a while, the presentation there, the way the Pokemon League building looks, and then as you wander in through these grand halls, making your way up to each member of the Elite Four, each member's chamber is super awesome and super great looking in some unique way, and it really added a touch of, I don't know, I hesitate to use an overused word, but epicness to the situation, and it really feels grand in a way that I didn't expect a Pokemon game to come off. So that was very impressive. And then, that last case of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies is mind-blowing in a lot of ways, and finding out who the final culprit is and all that entails blew my mind away, at least when I was playing through it at 3 a.m, because I lost a lot of sleep trying to play through that game. That's really great, and hopefully if anybody else plays it here, they'll know. I know Alex knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. So those are my most memorable moments. Derek.
Right. I have 3. The first one is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. At the end of the main campaign, single player, you play against this huge monster that lives underneath the ocean, it's making shockwaves. And I didn't know I was gonna fight. I thought there was nothing past the serpent thing with lightning. So it's like, it's not gonna be bad. And then this huge whale of a creature jumps out of the water and goes back in, and it starts playing this amazing credit soundtrack. I don't know, I forget the song. I used to memorize it, listen to it on YouTube a lot. It's really crazy, and it just makes it that much eerie to go underneath this water and try and take down this huge whale, and you're just like, itty bitty guy. So that was pretty epic in moments and really cool. My other second one was Brock. It was one of your things. You were over playing Battlefield 4.
Oh, yeah.
And you did not know about counter-knifing.
No.
It was one of my favorite experiences, just to see you just wig because you knife like in like Call of Duty or something, and the guy turns his knife on Brock and just stabs himself in the chest. Like, what just happened? What was that? I was like, counter knifing. Couldn't know. So it was really fun. But the other one was from The Last of Us. The snow scene was one of my favorites. Ellie's talking to this one guy that she met in the snow, and they fight all these clickers and mutants and stuff. And after all this craziness, she's like, all right, I'm going to trust you a little bit. And they start to sit down, and he starts telling her about this guy and little girl that are making trouble for his group of people. And they keep killing him off. And I'm just like, the realization of the whole, he's talking about them, just clicks in your head. You're like, oh crap, what's going to happen? And Ellie realizes this too after you figure it out. And she's like, where do I go? And that was like one of the coolest moments ever. It's a cool twist.
All right. Isaiah.
I met a few. That Into Dead Rising was definitely one. You just walk out of the sun, it's just hundreds of zombies in a very small area, and it's just like, whoa. That was definitely incredible. Another one was just getting absolutely demolished in Shin Megami Tensei 4. Wandering out the beginning dungeon for a while, trying to recruit some demons, then dying again. Just the demon. There's just such a brutal system because you have to make agreements with them. So you offer, they'll ask for things, and so they'll be like, here, all right, yeah, just give me some of your health. Okay, give me some of your money. Give me some of this. Then when you're left with nothing, they're like, and then they just kill you. One hit.
You give them all.
Yeah.
They'll ask for healing items. It's, oh man. I've no doubt if I could have put in some time and made it past that beginning difficulty, it got to the point where I could comfortably grind out a little bit of levels, it probably would have ended up really enjoying it, but I couldn't.
Huge learning curve if you haven't played any of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been my first game in that series period.
Yeah, both 3 and 4 have really big hurdles at the start, and then ease up once they're done having their way with you.
After I enjoyed killing you about 20 or 30 times, then you can have your fun.
Yeah, I got through it.
Another one was the broom closet ending. That game is what really just drew me into Stanley Parable more than anything else. Just starting at sure someone else to describe it, or you've probably heard about it at this point. Maybe not, but you just go into this random closet. He doesn't say anything about it, and then you just kind of sit there for a while, and he just gives you a really, really, really hard time about being there because there's no choice to make, no action to take. There's no reason to be here at all. If I would have said, Stanley walks past the broom closet, you had a reason to go in there. So then he starts making fun of you, and then he comes to the conclusion that you must have died. You walked in there, and so he shouts for someone to help. Because you have died. So he wants to make sure you get taken care of.
But the best part is when he's like, oh man, yeah, you'll be like to my friends, oh man, the broom closet ending is my favorite, and I hope they're very concerned.
Oh, do you hear the broom closet ending? Broom closet ending was my favorite. No,
I'm concerned.
It's fantastic.
I'm concerned.
My most memorable moment came in is when many awesome scenes. Shadow Warrior as kind of an Easter egg that I was not expecting. I've showed them this clip, most of them, but as per usual in a lot of different first-person shooter games, there's little critters, so there's little bunnies. Anytime you attack them with a sword, they just explode. It's really fun. So you see, and this is about 6-7 chapters in, so at this point you're pretty comfortable just destroying bunnies anytime you see them. And so there's this one particular quiet part of the game. You're out in the gardens collecting keys, like to open up a door, solving a puzzle, and you see a couple of bunnies. So you go up and you attack one, and instead of exploding, it catches on fire. Metal music starts playing, which is not anything else in the whole game. Like just like screaming lyrics. Like it's really, really loud, and this bunny starts attacking you. It starts eating your face. And so it's just like an impromptu random boss battle, and it's incredible because it's the most random, one of the most random things I've ever experienced in a first-person shooter. Like that game's full of crazy stuff, but like just randomly just having a bunny start eating my face, catching on fire, just running around, hopping around everywhere. You can barely even attack it so fast.
The music makes it.
But the music is the best part.
Yeah,
It's just out of nowhere, it just starts, and yeah, it's incredible.
All right. Anybody have anything else they want to say about memorable stuff?
Nope.
All right, everybody's good. All right.
Did Zach go?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
went right after me.
I can go again.
All right. That's okay. We'll move on to our last collaborative award. Award in air quotes. 2013 is the year of blank. We have some nominations here. They are Luigi, the 3DS, Games Getting Political, Unnecessary Sequels, Time Manipulation, New Consoles, and Fanboys/Flame Wars.
Yeah, those all go together.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I nominated Games Getting Political. That was because I play DMC and Metal Gear Rising next to each other, and they both make a lot of political statements. And that didn't really carry through the rest of the year. Derek just played the start of Loco Cycle, which kind of starts to go in that direction. There's a Mexican, or he's from Nicaragua, so he's probably from Latin America there. And he's hooked on the motorcycle, and he's like, you better not destroy these oil tankers because you don't want to mess with America's fuel. And you blow up all these oil tankers, and then it doesn't do anything else political in the rest of the game. So that was the only other instance. So if there had been more and it had been more consistent throughout the year, I think it could be a really strong contender. But it was only mostly DMC and MGR, unless I'm missing some. Which I don't know. So we can scratch that. And we're only gonna pick one winner here, right? No.
Yep.
Oh,
One winner,
man.
no runners
There
up.
can only be one.
Wow. All right.
Yep.
Definitive.
Man.
2013 has to be the year of something. Not this thing, but also kind of these things.
I think it was Zach who said unnecessary sequels?
No, I said
No.
time
Oh,
manipulation.
Zach said
No, I did unnecessary sequels.
okay.
And that was, this generation kind of went on a little too long.
God of War and Gears of
So,
War, like,
God
definitely.
of War, Gears of War, definitely, and then
Grand Theft Auto.
That was a good sequel.
No, it was a good sequel.
Was the-
I know.
This is unnecessary.
Oh,
sequels.
unnecessary sequels. Sorry.
Rock
Sequels may be
Band.
unnecessary.
Battlefield 4.
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Call of Duty Ghosts probably be one.
Yeah.
probably
that
a few too many Lego
Yeah,
games too. I
There
don't
have been a
know.
lot of
There was a
Lego games.
lot of Lego games this year.
The Lego movie.
XCOM Bureau.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty great. Yeah, but that one also kind of didn't really
Yeah.
carry through. There were a few, but
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think really this is going to be the year of the 3DS.
Yeah, I agree.
I completely agree with that.
Nah, I don't really-
Because there's,
Sure.
you know, the fact that every single one of us owns a 3DS.
They're
Really said
saying
something.
something, I guess.
Yes, I mean Fire Emblem, Pokemon,
What about next generation
Monster
consoles?
Hunter,
Yeah. Then you got all the new
Animal
consoles.
Crossing.
Animal
we
Crossing.
all have a new console, don't we? Wii U's count, of course.
It came out last year.
Yeah, but I think overall it didn't make
Well,
that big of a
yeah.
splash. No
Yeah,
really
not as
crazy
much as-
next-gen console games came out that everyone's really talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a topic of discussion of the year, but like it wasn't really.
Yeah. I would say I still love GameSpot's Game of the Year for PS4 and Xbox One. Black Flag. What's up with that? That's saying something.
Game's great.
It is a great
It's all
game.
a shot.
But I was so excited to see if Rise did okay, but it did not.
Knack didn't do as well as
No.
expected.
Killzone, same thing.
Yeah.
Killzone was a little underwhelming. Dead Rising was the only one that
Yep.
Actually made a push.
really,
It was good.
Hmm.
yeah.
Dead Rising definitely felt like one of the most complete next-gen games that came out.
And
Whereas 3DS had an amazing year.
Yes, it did.
Incredible year.
With only 2 games, I thought.
Should it be
Pokemon
Should it be
and
the 2DS?
Monster Hunter.
Oh,
Yeah.
what about Fire Emblem?
Zelda.
It's good.
Oh yeah, that's good, I guess.
Animal
Zelda.
Crossing, Rune Factory.
Animal Crossing,
There's a lot of 3DS games.
There's a lot of
Those
3DS
are-
games when you think about it.
Luigi's Mansion.
Don't really.
That might be-
Luigi.
A good thing. The year of 3DS.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
Stamped.
Do we all agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
opposition.
It's a good sound one. I like it.
2013 is the year of the 3DS.
Yeah, just
Again,
not that long ago.
I don't think that's the first time the 3DS has won a blank is the year of category. It continues to be the years of the 3DS.
What was that last year? It was terrible. Was it last year?
Last year, I think Stealth was our year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stealth was
Makes
last
sense.
year.
A lot of strong Stealth
All
games
right.
last year. Yeah, Dishonored.
And
Hitman,
this
Marco
year.
Ninja, yeah. There were some good Stealth games this year, too.
There were also some bad Stealth games this year. Stealth Inc. Ugh,
Yeah, that one was poor. Even had it in the name.
it did. All right. Now moving on to most anticipated games of 2014.
Cool. Right.
Yet another personal category, and this is the last thing we'll do before we rank our games.
This is an exciting one. I like
This is our 6th personal category, so we'll start with Tom.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was looking forward to when I bought my PS4, Infamous Second Son.
Yes.
Next Ominous Infamous. I also when I pre-ordered my PS4, I also say that I was looking forward to Watch Dogs. But since it's now in 2014, I'm gonna be getting it then. And so those are the two.
Okay.
And that's it.
Zach?
Awesome. All right. Well, I've got 3. My third one's going to be Elder Scrolls Online. I'm really excited to play that game.
Cool.
I loved
Okay.
Oblivion. I love Skyrim. And my little brother and some of his friends are going to get Elder Scrolls Online, so I might have to as well. It looks really good, and it might be an enjoyable game.
You can be king.
That's true. I can be king.
Emperor.
Emperor, really? Oh,
Awesome.
I want to be a Jarl.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So I'm happy to see that coming online.
As hesitant as I am to get excited for an MMO or an Elder Scrolls MMO, I'm really hoping it's good.
Me too.
Yeah.
If it's anything like Final Fantasy 14, I'll be happy with it.
That was a very pleasant surprise, and that's an MMO I could see myself trying. So
Yeah,
we're getting there. So
it's
come
getting
on, Elder
better.
Scrolls Online.
My second one is Stick of Truth, South Park.
That game's never coming out.
I know. It keeps getting pushed back. I'm really excited. I was excited to play it this year. I pre-ordered it, and the day I pre-ordered it, they extended it to March. I was like, oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
So I was really bummed there, but the gameplay I've seen of that makes me excited, so I'm really want to see
It
that.
looks like Super Mario RPG: The Legend of the Seven Stars for the SNES.
It looks so
So
funny.
I'm at 2 thumbs up. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't even like South Park, and I wanted to play it. So
No, it should be funny.
I hope so. Then my top one is Infamous Second Son.
Yeah.
I played the
Awesome.
first 2, love those 2, and I'm excited to see the PS4 engine busting this guy out. Oh my goodness, it looks
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I'm looking
Even
so
though we
forward
couldn't
to
beat
that.
the first game.
I know. Buggy game. But it was alright. It was good. And those are my most anticipated.
All right,
All right.
Alex.
Let's say Bayonetta 2.
Mhm.
I guess I don't expect it to be very revolutionary, just excellent and a Wii U exclusive. So that's a rare combination of words that we really need some more of.
5 of us cross our fingers.
I hope.
I'm going to kind of cheat here because I think Persona 5 was announced this year for Japan for next year.
Yep.
We probably won't see it till 15 or 16, but
Yeah.
that's going to be good.
I hope.
It better be.
Dragon Age 3. I've
What's
really
that?
liked. I think it's supposed to come out. next
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause
Alright.
I think they announced it in 2012.
they did.
So I think we skipped a whole
Inquisition
year,
is-
and then I think 14 is the year.
Okay. I had just kind of written that off in my head. I didn't know if it was.
I guess I haven't looked at. Is it Dragon Age 3 Inquisition or just Dragon Age
I think
Inquisition?
it's
It's
just
just Dragon
Inquisition.
Age and
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Okay. I'll probably still always call it Dragon Age 3, but that one, that'll hopefully be good. I think they'll take a lot of fan feedback from 2, even though I really like 2.
Mhm.
Gameplay wise, not as much as 1, but the story I thought was just excellent and the writing was tops.
I prefer the gameplay of 2,
Yeah.
but that's just me. I'm
Oh, I
with
do too.
you.
I like number 2. It was fun.
Number 2 most anticipated would be Smash number 4.
Yeah.
Hopefully Sakurai can pull it together.
That's your number 2.
2016.
Maybe release a game
Whoa.
this year. I think he said it was his New Year's resolution to release it this year. If Travis Touchdown or Bayonetta were announced for that game, it would be my number 1. I'm just waiting for another reason to get excited.
Wonder
Yeah.
Red for me.
Wonder
Yeah.
Red would be really good as well. That seems like a no-brainer.
That- Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
The new game,
But-
Beautiful Joe, Wonder Red's a pretty cool.
About
Might as well throw
Wonder
in
Woman.
Beautiful Joe too. They're kind of the same. They're almost the same characters. So.
They're very similar.
But my number 1 right now is The Witcher 3, and I'm
Ooh,
very excited
yeah.
for that. It sounds like it's going to be an open world, or it's going to be have the graphics fidelity of 2 with the open and huge nature of the first game, and that just sounds awesome.
That was crazy.
And it'll also, I think, be the last game in the series, which is kind of sad. But they'll also leave it all on the table. So,
Yep. But then they get to move on to other things like the sci-fi game or something,
Cyberpunk 2077 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like that.
That looks really good too. Yeah.
I'm sure
Although
it'll-
they just showed a trailer. No gameplay for that one yet. Yeah, Witch 3 looks very excited for it.
All right. I'll talk very briefly about 5 games. I'm really looking forward still. I think I've said this about every year for the last 3, but Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney. Because
Still there.
I am a fanboy, so I'm still looking forward to it. Infamous Second Son, the game that will likely lead me to buy a PlayStation 4. That was partially why I decided, even when the consoles were announced, that I was probably going to lean PS4, is because of that game. I'm looking forward to Smash for Wii U and 3DS as well.
That'd be cool.
I don't think it'll ship this year, but we'll see. Mega Man! Okay. And then Mario Kart 8. because it's Mario Kart.
F-Zero, Mark.
Even though I
Mario
think
Kart.
F-Zero Kart, yes. Even though I think Mario Kart Wii was the worst one ever made.
It was a
Oh,
step
so
down
much
from
better
Double
Super.
Dash,
And Mario Kart DS. I'd rather play Mario Kart DS than.
but the online was good.
The local was probably the best in that game, I think. You could design your own a la carte Grand Prix. That was fun. You
True,
could do
that was good.
teams.
Yes. I don't know, I still think Double Dash is the best Mario Kart.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
So it'll be hard to top that, but Mario Kart 8 looks really cool.
I love the co-op car racing.
Yep. And then my most anticipated is Watch Dogs.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that game should have came
I
out this
forgot all
should
about
have
that
come out
game.
this year,
Should have.
but
Oh,
it
yeah.
didn't. So
Does that have a release date yet? I don't
March
think it-
6th, I want to say, is what they said. 6th or 14th, one of the two. But I could be
Okay.
wrong. Don't fact check that, listeners. I'm probably wrong. So, yeah, Watch Dogs. I can't wait to play that game. On the Wii U!
All right.
Mhm.
Better be good. Derek.
Oh yeah. South Park. I'm just get that out of the way. I've been pretty excited for that game, and it looks hilarious, and the graphics look awesome. It just looks just like the cartoon show, so I can't wait to play it. Another one is Deep Down by Capcom. It's free to play. It kind of was surprising because of how good the game looks. I got to see a couple demos of it, and it looks fantastic.
That was the best looking thing at the PS4 launch event.
It was. Oh my gosh.
Not
And the new
much,
items
yeah.
and stuff look really good. The Crew, some of my friends love racing games at work, and I'm trying to figure out a racing game to buy, and so far I haven't bought one because I've been waiting for a good one to get.
Yeah, the crew looks very
So
interesting.
you've got a crew together for the crew.
Yep. I have about 4 people already that want to
You
play
have
it.
a crew to crew for the crew.
Yeah. So
crew
yeah,
leader.
the whole multiplayer aspect of it and takedowns, and it's a little bit different than just Forza, just racing.
In a
like-
huge world.
Yeah, in a huge world.
So just make sure that if you ever take the number 1 spot on a leaderboard from someone, you call it a crew d'etat.
Oh.
Nice.
So, playing on that one. Destiny, I already have a beta code for it, so I'm really excited to get into that. It's supposed to be sometime earlier this year. So I'm hoping they do it real soon so I can start playing. Can't wait. Final Fantasy 14 for the PS4.
Whoa.
Because the graphics should look good. Should look good. If it's not, I'm going to really be really angry. I don't know if this is actually coming out this year. I can't remember. Battlefront 3, I think it's next year. Totally
I
next
think
year.
it's next year.
Probably.
I'm pretty
Totally
sure
next
they
year.
announced it's coming out about the same time as the movie, actually. Which is
Oh.
almost a full 2 years away.
Dang. Well, that would be my. That would be
Yeah,
a present for
good.
me. That would be my dream game. If
Yeah,
that
it's gonna
finally
be a
comes
late
out
2015 release.
after they decided to
as
skip a
long as
whole.
it comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They skip a whole console
as long as
generation.
they start showing trailers and I can start getting excited about it,
10
then
years.
I'll be okay.
I know.
10
Sheesh.
Star Fox, dude.
But yeah. So then, since that's not coming out probably, Destiny is
Sure.
probably my
10
most
years.
anticipated
Nice.
game right now.
I hesitate to look forward to it just because it'll have to be really awesome for me to get into it, but
I know, I'm
Seems
yet to be
really
really
good.
wowed by it, so we'll see.
Well, there's nothing
wow.
on it right now, just theories, and there's some gameplay. Again, that's demo gameplay. We've all seen Halo's demo of
Yeah.
Halo 2, and that completely changed when it came out.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
Alright.
all right.
Alright. These are in no particular order, but I am extremely excited for Titanfall. That game looks incredible. Every person, like, I haven't read a bad thing about it, actually, from a journalist. Like, everyone just plays it, raves about it. How intense, exciting, fun. That was definitely one of the huge factors in me buying my Xbox One. So it's definitely very exciting. Now, another thing I'm excited about, this is not actually a game, but it is the Oculus. It's looking incredible as well. They just came out with a new model of it at CES this year. Has head tracking, so you see something around, you can lean forward to read it, and it said the amount of and also they reduced like any kind of motion blur, a new kind of screen, OLED now. So like they said, just the amount of immersion in the game is absolutely incredible. So-
I'm excited to see horror games in that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
man.
No, that's good.
I've heard terrible things about that.
I really want to do
best
it.
Man, yeah. So I'm definitely going to be, when that comes around, I'm going to be buying a new graphics card, buying the Oculus Rift, and I'm ready to go.
Didn't Sony come out with a headset?
They
They're working on it,
previewed
I
one,
guess.
yeah. It's like an extension of like their home theater, like the theater mounted one. Looks okay. I don't think it's going to compete with the Oculus really. Then I'm pretty sure the other 3 games I have were on my list at the end of last year. Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, and Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
Pretty sure those are all games that are on my anticipated list for this year. Kind of hoping, maybe not Smash, but I don't think Dark Souls had a release date at that point. So, yeah, and I know Bayonetta we weren't sure about, so. But those all seem to be, apart from maybe Smash, Bayonetta 2 and Dark Souls 2 seem to be at least locks for next year. So, it's going to be a really, really good year.
We say that every year.
I know. This year was good.
It was.
Yeah.
What?
And there goes Bro.
Oh my goodness, you guys. Naughty Dog was. It was their year for
Naughty
Naughty
Dog
Dog.
released the game, so it's the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Lols.
All right. Let's see.
I have a couple. I am also looking forward to Elder Scrolls.
Yes.
Big fan of Elder Scrolls. Really looking forward to the Smash Bros. I'm super pumped that it's coming out on 3DS. I don't care if it's bad or not. I'm going to buy it for 3DS.
It's going to get on 3DS.
I'm a huge fan of Fable. I'm really hoping the Fable Anniversary comes out this year on the Xbox One. And my most anticipated is Project Spark. Played an hour of the closed beta, and it's already awesome. Super awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Very cool.
There's another big reason I wanted the Xbox One.
That's the only reason I'm really buying one.
That'd probably be the only reason for me as well. That game looked awesome at E3.
Alright.
Got me excited. And I was like, wait, I don't know. It's the only game, though.
I plan on buying a Surface just to know like the
Oh, that'll be cool.
combination of it, everything.
It seems to have a lot of creative potential.
Oh yeah.
So I look forward to that.
Alright.
All right. That is everybody, right? I didn't miss anybody.
Nope.
All right. Excellent. So that concludes our awards portion of Game of the Year 2013. Now we get to the hard part. So we have that to look forward to. We'll come back with part 3 of day 2, which is our ranking of every video game any of us played this year that came out in 2013. So join us for that. Should be equal parts hilarious and horrifying.
And
It'll
It'll
end in
always
hugs,
be-
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
It'll end in tears and hugs. Yes.
Tears and hugs.
Tears and hugs.